Japanese people are a little bit more closed off than Americans are. They give handshakes. They don't really give hugs, but you kind of gaijin power, which means like a foreigner power, is really strong there. So you can just be yourself and put on your personality, and they'll slowly open up to it. But they are big into clubs. Clubs are a huge thing there to be a part of a club, like whether it's a soccer club or an art club or just anything like that. They kind of pride themselves on being very busy. They are very, very busy. They're always running from one thing to the next. They spread themselves very thin. A lot of them there are, and they kind of use that as an excuse. They don't want to be rude, and they don't want to say no right away. And so they'll be like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm busy. They go in roundabout ways. Or, oh, I'm sorry, I'm taking a bath right now. I can't really talk to you. And you're like, okay. But so clubs are very important to them, especially in like high school and middle school. They're always doing clubs. Their schooling is very rigorous there. But the most important things, they all say they're Buddhist or Shinto, but a lot of them actually, they don't believe in it. They practice it. Kind of like I've heard in Europe, they claim they're Christian, but a lot of the times they celebrate Christmas and Easter, but they're not very religious Christian or Catholics or Christians or whatever you want to say. And it's kind of the same way. They follow the Buddhist traditions, but not a lot of them are practicing Buddhists. But they use that, and it's something that's how they were raised, the traditions. So oftentimes that has become less of a religion and more of a way of living. The thing that they are big on is families. Their families aren't very closely connected. They don't really say I love you to each other. They don't show any signs of emotion that way. They are a little more so as the younger generations are becoming a little more Americanized. They're becoming a little more open. But it's all about bringing honor to your family. And so the family has a big effect on them. If a child wants to get baptized, they can't get baptized until they're 20 if they want to do it without their parents' permission. But even then, a lot of them have a hard time splitting away from their family. And so we'll get people who are like, they have family members they're like 40 years old, and they're like, well, my grandma doesn't want me getting baptized, so I can't get baptized. Or my sister who lives all the way in Tokyo doesn't want me to get baptized, so I can't. And so they were afraid of being from being shunned by their family, and that's a big thing to them, is to make sure that they keep the respect of their family. And that was probably one of the biggest struggles when teaching them, is that they would get so close to baptism, but then they'd have family members who were opposed, and since family was so important to them in that way, that they didn't want to bring shame to their family or to upset their family in any way.